eggs are made?
No, but I know how to eat them. Look, you just get one like this, and then you just, all right.
Eggs and bacon with Cheryl.
Bunny brought you loads of Easter eggs, but he didn't bring me any. What he did bring me, though, was that brilliant band, James! And they're going to be performing live right here in the studio a bit later on. That's why all this equipment's set up behind me. But apart from James, we've also got grease, the country that is, not the fat, and we've got garlic, loads of it, and of course we've got Easter eggs, but Easter eggs with a bit of a difference. And talking of Easter eggs, have you ever wondered how they make all those lovely chocolate Easter eggs that we eat this time of year?
Hi, Cheryl.
A little bird told me that this was the place to come and get some really scrummy Greek food, and that apparently Easter was the best time to visit. I think I'll go and find out what they meant. For Easter?
Oh yes, Easter is a very special day for all the Greeks, you know. We celebrate Easter more than we celebrate Christmas.
Really?
Yes. Most Greeks fast for about 40 days.
What, you mean they don't eat anything at all?
No, fasting means they don't eat any animal products or any animal fats like milk, cheese, butter.
And is it symbolic that you have the eggs?
Oh, yes. Well, the eggs represent new life, and the red color, which we dye, represents the blood that Jesus shed on the cross when he was.
But I see you've decorated some of these eggs beautifully. How did you get the flower pattern on the egg?
They're quite easily done, actually, by getting a flower, putting it on the egg, and put in a stocking or a tie it, stretch it around the egg and tie it on the bottom and put it on your egg dyed when you're boiling them. Oh, and after 10-15 minutes you get the flour. You get, but you can do it with anything. You can do it with a leaf or a piece of parsley, anything you have in the kitchen or in your garden.
It really works. It's so pretty.
They're really nice and they're fun to do.
Yeah. So do you keep the ones then with the dates on?
When we're young, we were made believe that if we kept the eggs for a long time, they will turn to gold inside. Of course, it's not true.
And what are those pie-looking things?
No, this is a Cypriot speciality. They're full with Cypriot cheese. They're a bit like your English cheese pies, but they're more savory.
It's funny because I thought they were sweet.
Yeah, no, they're not.
And these look nice.
Oh, they are very easy to make. They're called goulourakia paschalina. To you, biscuit rings.
That's much better, biscuit rings.
They're very simple to make. Even you can make them, Cheryl.
Oh, look. Let's prove it.
Shall we try? Okay.
Lula make those terrific eggs and pastries, but she also made me the most wonderful lunch. It was very, very garlicky, but that was just as well because I happen to like garlic so much that in a minute I'm going to make a dish with not one, not two, and not even three, but 40 cloves of garlic. I expected that. But first, I want to explore some of the facts and fantasy of garlic. This is a bulb of garlic, known as the stinking rose to its friends. It splits up into a dozen or so bulblets called cloves. The garlic we buy in supermarkets and greengrocers originated in China, and an ancient Chinese proverb says, "When you're 50 years old, eat garlic for 50 days and you'll live for a further 50 years. Superstition says that garlic keeps the vampires at bay. Sounds batty to me. Some people recommend garlic for pets to help ward off infections. Other people recommend garlic for human beings to help cure dog bites. It's also been used as a remedy for dandruff, flatulence, constipation and athlete's foot. And if you rub garlic on the sole of your foot, that also makes your breath smell. Why would anyone want to do that?" This recipe is called chicken with garlic, and like I said earlier, it's 40 cloves of garlic.
Well, before you sit down for the whole evening, shape up now with Granada's The Good Life Show.
State 500 111. The lines are open for 24 hours, so why not give it a go?
Greek food. Vine leaves, salad, fresh vegetables, and oil, oil, and more oil. Sounds like the stuff to give you a coronary. Because in fact, the Greeks have 3 times fewer heart attacks than we do, they suffer less from cancer, and they live longer than any other nation apart from the Japanese. Is it that delicious Greek yogurt? Or is it those long Mediterranean siestas?
If you look at the dishes we've got in front of us, the Greek diet is mainly vegetable based and therefore it's quite low in fat, which is what we're trying to tell people in Britain today to eat less of.
Be a little bit more specific. What is it? Is it just the food or is it their way of life in Greece?
I think it's everything. The diet and the lifestyle is far more relaxed than it is over in the West.
Don't they fast a lot as well?
Yes, the Orthodox Greeks do 50 days fasting before Easter and 40 days fasting before Christmas, which excludes all animal fats, which again is in line with the current thinking of healthy eating today.
No butter, no cheese?
That's right.
Ah, yes, but against that, what about the olive oil, which they liberally douse all their salads in? I mean, healthy?
Well, again, olive oil is better for you than animal fats and better than, say, ordinary vegetable oil. And again, if you take it in context as part of their whole diet, it is still quite low in fat, the Greek diet.
In the kitchen, Lula was busy making the starter, stuffed vine leaves. And sure enough, like Cheryl said, it was strong on the veg and long on the oil. But I'd come to see the most traditional of Greek dishes. Okay, we've had the starter, Lula. What about the main course?
Okay, this is the national dish of Greece.
What's it called?
It's fasolada.
Fasolada.
Yes, it's haricot beans. They've been soaked overnight and they've been boiling for half an hour.
And then?
And then we put the rest of the ingredients in. Okay, we put a bit of tomato puree, just a tablespoon, a few chopped tomatoes, that's a teaspoon of sugar, few bay leaves, fresh oregano, bit of garlic, well, lots of garlic actually, parsley, carrots, And some onions.
2 onions.
Yes, 2 medium onions.
And
And not to forget the oil.
lots of olive oil.
Yes, it's about a cup of olive oil in there.
Good virgin olive oil.
That's right. And some Greek parsley. Stir all the ingredients in. Not forgetting the lemon juice.
Stir it again.
That's right.
And would you call this a soup or a stew?
Well, it's called a soup, but we have it as a main meal, especially at lunchtime.
And what does it look like?
It looks beautiful. There is one we prepared earlier.
Delicious. All we've got to do is eat it now.
That's right, let's go and eat it.
Well, this looks absolutely delicious.
Ευχαριστώ και καλώς ορίσατε.
What does that mean? Thank you.
Thank you and you're welcome.
Is it good for us, Cheryl?
Absolutely.
Well, how do I say cheers in Greek?
Στην υγεία μας.
Diniamas.
This
And now today in the Northwest with Granada Tonight.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, an MP demands to know why a train with faulty brakes was sent back to a busy mainline station where it crashed.
Police have discovered a cache of arms and ammunition buried on a railway embankment.
Blackpool gets ready for the Conservative Party conference, but who should pay the bill for security?
The weekend's soccer action with the Northwest top teams. And there's Stuart.
I am going to bring a touch of Mediterranean sun to your living rooms tonight when Greek chef Lula Aston attempts the Stuart £7 challenge to cook a 3-course meal for a family of 4. And remember, it must cost under £7. Can she rise to the challenge and beat it? Join me later and find out.
But first tonight, MPs and unions are demanding to know why a train with faulty brakes was sent back to a busy mainline station where it crashed into a platform crowded with passengers. Quarter of the way through the football season at the moment, Bob, already.
Yes.
So summer certainly does seem a distant memory. Perhaps Stuart Hall can help us recapture that holiday atmosphere. This week he takes his cookery challenge to the Mediterranean. A Greek chef attempts to cook a family meal for under £7.
Agios Athanatos
Welcome to the Greek Orthodox Church in Manchester. Built in the Byzantine style last century by Greek merchants who made their money out of cotton, prospered and settled in the city. Since then, the community has grown and changed somewhat. Many now work in the catering trade, which is why I'm here today, because a Greek chef has accepted my challenge to cook a family meal for under £7.
The Cosmos Taverna opened in Manchester 10 years ago. Chef Lula Aston trained in her parents' restaurant before opening the Cosmos with her husband. A celebrated taverna of laughter, bouzouki, fine wines. It's been in the Good Food Guide for the past 7 years.
There's prepared spanakopitachio, which is phyllo pastry filled with spinach and feta cheese and deep fried. The chicken dish comes from the island of Hydra, you know, the one with the many-headed beast. This chicken is fried in butter and olive oil, finished off with Greek brandy and cream, and finally stafado, which is a casserole of beef with onions, red wine and vinegar. So tell me, why should we eat Greek food?
Well, Greek food is, first of all, very good for you. It's very healthy. We use a lot of olive oil in our food, as you know. We have a lot of olives.
Preventing heart attacks?
That's right, yes.
But you need the Greek passion to cook it.
Definitely, definitely. You need a lot of passion and a lot of love and a lot of fire.
As
right.
the only lady chef in the challenge, are you chef enough to accept the Stuart £7 challenge and cook a 3-course meal for a family of 4?
Well, I don't know.
Convert it to drachma and go
Yes.
and do your shopping.
Okay, I'll try.
Ευχαριστώ.
Παρακαλώ.
Okay.
Well, Lula's cooking for the Aaron family, which is Morris, Jill, Annika and Damon. Now, what about Greek food, Morris?
Love it. Love it.
Jill?
Never tried it yet.
You never tried it? You're looking forward to the experience?
I am.
Annika, what's your favourite food?
Fish fingers.
Meanwhile, back at Damon, what's your favourite food?
Junk food.
Junk food. What about Greek?
I tried it.
Come on, let's go. Come on, family, go. Go, go! So here's what Lula's bought for the £7. The starter is stuffed tomatoes. So the tomatoes here, flat parsley, little mint, currants and rice. The main course, cleftico, lamb from the shoulder end, a little olive oil, a clove of garlic, half a lemon, oregano and bay leaves and potatoes. Then she's going to make a salad with the feta cheese, the olives, little tomato, cucumber. The onion goes in the first 2 bits. And the dessert is, remind me?
Mustalevri.
Mustalevri, which is a grape juice pudding. Yeah. So we have the grape juice here, there's a little cinnamon, the flour, and the walnuts. Start with the cleftico because it takes 2.5 hours to cook. Simply wrap the lamb, tomato, olive oil, lemon, bay leaf, garlic and potatoes in foil and pop in the oven. Lula, tell me the story of cleftico.
Cleftides were a group of bandits that roamed the mountains stealing from the Turks' livestock, cooked the meat in silk clay pots buried under the ground with lots of mountain herbs. They cooked it in such a way so the aroma of the food wouldn't reach the Turks' noses.
Right, stuffing the tomatoes.
Yes.
Lula? Rice, currants and a clever mix of herbs and garlic is the filling for the tomatoes, topped with a little tomato lid and then baked. Put the lid on.
That's right.
Put all 4 in the oven for how long?
30 to 35 minutes.
The grape juice gives Lula's pudding a distinctive, sharp taste. In Greece, you would use natural grape juice, wouldn't you, from the vineyard?
That's right, and this is the right time to do it, because that's when they're harvesting the grapes.
Autumn, right, and what happens now? Mix it all together. When it's cooled, it's a country pudding with a difference. But now, judgment time.
What can I say?
Well, say it.
It's gorgeous. Beautiful.
On to the cleftico, and with a little help, even Annika's stucking into the lamb. That Greek salad topped with feta cheese is an all-round success. Now, the pudding. Oh, Damon's not too sure about the cinnamon and walnut topping. But would the Aarons cook this meal for themselves?
I might be able to try, but I don't know how successful I'd be.
The meal was beautiful. Excellent. The salad was exceptionally good. Really complimented the meal.
Okay, the Aaron family, what about Lula's meal?
Beautiful.
Lovely.
Huh?
Lovely.
Not a lot forthcoming from Annika, but at least she ate it all, Lula. But now the moment of truth, how much of my £7 did you spend?
Well, it's been really difficult, but I spent £6.90.
20
10p.
20 drachma change.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Lovely, lovely meal, and thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Make sure to join me, same time, same place, next week, for we say, Benvenuti Italia.
That looked good, I must say. Now, as promised before, we will be giving you an address where you can write for details and the methods, the cooking methods of all the recipes in Stuart's Challenge. You have to be a little bit patient because the end of the series is a couple of weeks off, then we'll have the details. John.
Yep, certainly will then, Bob. Well, let's see what the weather is cooking up for us, and taking an overall view, as ever, right above us here is our man Fred. Fred, what's it look?
Now, John Huntley and Lucy Meacock present Granada Tonight.
Hello and welcome. Tonight we talk to families whose lives were endangered by a spate of arson attacks today in neighbouring streets.
A man collapses and dies after disturbing burglars at his home.
Mark Owen hears the arguments from disabled people who say closing their residential home is like breaking up a family.
Paul Crone meets the part-time footballers who had to find a turnstile to gain admission to the FA Cup. And the heat is on for Stuart Hall. Can he beat his own £7 challenge in the kitchen?
That's all to come, but first tonight, families in neighbouring streets in Manchester have been terrorised by a spate of arson attacks. And the Dambusters, I remember. Talking of matinee idols, Stuart Orr remembers his £7 challenge, I'm sure you do, when he asked some of the region's leading chefs to cook a family meal for under £7. By the way, if you've written in for a recipe book, we are doing our best to get them out to you just as soon as we can. Well, earlier this week, Bob Greaves dared Stuart to take up the challenge himself. Let's see how he got on.
Well, now, the other Monday is seriously happening. Bob took me up on my own Stuart's challenge to cook a three-course meal for a family of 4. And he's very confident I'm going to fail. I'm equally confident I am going to succeed. And back at home, Bob awaits with 3 chefs, and they are ravenously hungry. So here I am on Ashton Market, preparing to make my purchases. And here's what I bought for my £7. My starter is a very simple chicken liver patty, a pound of chicken livers, half a pound of sausage, cream with an onion. The main course is blanquette de poulet en croûte, which is a chicken pie. I've jointed a very small chicken, and to go with it, I've got mushrooms, red and yellow peppers, tomato, onion, and parsley, thyme, and basil. My dessert is again a very simple rice pudding, the rice and the sugar and the butter inside, with a little compote of fruit, plum, pear, apple. Now you have to cheat a little and make a good, rich stock from marrow bones the day before. Well, the professionals do it, including my 3 chefs waiting to adjudicate my amateur efforts.
I think he doesn't. I think he's going to cheat.
Why do you think that?
Well, yes. He said I cheat and I didn't cheat.
Would you give him a job in your kitchen?
Ooh, my kitchen is too small.
For my starter, take a large frying pan and then blend the fried onions, chicken livers and sausage meat for a couple of minutes on a low heat. But what does Maestro French chef Bernard Farreau think of my method?
I don't want to criticize.
No, go away. I want tips.
What I would like, what you should do is start to sweat your pate and your chicken, your chicken liver first.
Yeah.
Take it off after. Once it's sweat your onion.
Yeah.
And after mix that together and do what you're doing now.
So Bernard does it the French way, but the real test is what does it taste like? Anyway, it's in the oven for 45 minutes, and on to my main course, the blanquette de poulet en croûte, or chicken pie. Would Greek chef Lula Aston cook her chicken this way, I wonder? Let me tell you what I've done.
Yes.
The onions. I've just fried off lightly the chicken. Then I finished off with the mushrooms, the peppers, and the tomato. I've just about put the stock in, the marrow, fat, bone stock. Right?
Very good.
What do you think?
Yeah. That's fantastic, yes, because you're using the bits of the chickens, to make your stock.
Yeah.
You're not using a cube of stock like most people do.
Right. As if I'd cheat and use a stock cube. Well, that goes in the oven for an hour. And now for the stewed fruit to accompany my rice pudding. What will Italian chef Enzo Mauro have to say about this when he's convinced I'll cheat anyway? Doing my dessert, which is a little compote of fruit, apple, a pear, a couple of plums, and rice pudding is in the oven.
Tin rice pudding?
Of course not, it is absolutely fresh. Frankly, I'm in a little tiz. I'm being put under much more pressure than any other chef in the challenge, and speaking of pressure...
I've arrived my budget meal at Shea Hall. I don't think it's a bring a bottle party, so I've brought my own budget teapot.
Well, that Bob Greaves is going to have to wait just a trifle longer while I put the finishing touches to my meal, such as the pastry top for my chicken pie. And then, in trepidation, with white hazel, I'm ready to serve. Pate. My pate is universally acclaimed, but what will 3 top chefs and the top presenter, the bon viveur, make of it?
Stuart.
Yes, what?
There has been rumour that you've got the first thing wrong, and I'm defending you. They've been saying, these top chefs, that it should not be bread, it should be toast.
It should be toast. It should be toast. But I can't afford it. My method criticised, no toast. Let's have the pate verdict.
I think it's very nice, actually.
I am vindicated. Now for the main course, and the chicken pie is being devoured. Always a good sign.
It's lovely. Chicken is lovely, it's not too rich. And what I love the most is the mashed potatoes. It's so nice.
Yes.
They're lovely, light, very good. I think we might give him a job in the kitchen now.
The finale is my rice pudding with fruit compote, but the critics are frankly dubious.
I'm a bit disappointed that it's rice pudding.
I think
I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah, I think it reminds you of your school days. Rice
Probably.
pudding and semolina. I think the rice needed to be cooked a little bit longer.
A little more, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit undercooked. It's crunchy.
Crunchy.
It's like eating nuts.
We've had the meal, we've discussed the meal. We must have Stuart and Hazel back.
Well,
How did the budget go?
Now I've dropped a tango. Because chicken livers were so cheap, at 35p a pound, I'd planned half a pound of pate. I doubled up. So you know what I've done? I've blown the budget. I've overspent by 7p.
Stuart, I shouldn't worry about 7 pence because we've all had a lovely meal, have we not?
Yes, and we did.
So he didn't quite do it. I wish he'd asked us round as well. Could you have done it?
I could have got the rice pudding right, Lucy. A bit of a dab. And my
Would have been out
vegetable
of a
curry.
tin, wouldn't it?
Well, probably out of a tin. Yeah, it looked lovely, actually, didn't it?
It did. I approved all these men doing the cooking
What
as
about
well.
you? Do you turn
Oh,
a
I think-
spatula
I
in the
think-
kitchen?
I think you chaps should stick to it. You're obviously very good at it.
I do like it. I've got the time, honestly.
Perhaps a calorie-controlled version, though. Anyway, we move on to sport now because...
And now, please give an extra mega welcome for a mega show. It's our 300th. It's Bruno Brooks.
Thank you. Welcome to our 300th edition of Love at First Sight. A very special show. Now listen, we've got some of our former contestants sitting in the audience who've all found love on the show before. Give them a nice round of applause, everybody. There they are. Nice to see you. In the meantime, would you welcome Helen Brumby?
300, eh?
Fantastic.
Shall we let the celebrations commence?
We will. Here come the three beautiful girls on tonight's show. Oh, again, a wonderful reception there for our three fellows.
Fancy footwork.
All dressed in their... Well, do you like all the suits, ladies and gentlemen? Don't they look smart now? Come on, give it... Absolutely terrific, okay. And to think you've lost out, mate, on your Ferrari now, but there again, Jane could offer something else. What do you think that is?
It's a damn good question, dude. Do you really want me to answer that in English or Italian?
Well, in Italian.
In Italian,
Yeah.
I'd just like to say one thing to her, and that is, io ti voglio.
Grazie.
Yeah. What does that mean?
That means, I want you.
Oh, really? Yeah, we believe you. Non capisco. Non capisco.
I think you do.
Right, well, let's find out whether Jane went for Daniel. Do we get a second love match on the show? Is it Italian? Yeah! Oh, okay then. So obviously, I would have thought the Italian lingo had something to do with this. But anything else about Daniel that you liked?
Insomma, mi piace le uomini italiani.
Pardon?
I just like Torres, I just like Italian men in general.
You do.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, the Italian men seem to have this sort of reputation, don't they, as being sort of,
Great.
you know,
Simpatici.
being sort of good lovers and. You know, I mean, it's not necessarily true. Us British men are the best, aren't we, fellas? British men are the best. Anyway, you're going out tonight. Congratulations. Come and join us. Danielle and Jane, come here and give them a cheer. Come on, Danielle. In your own time, my friend. There's no rush on this show anyway. Congratulations. I think a hug is in order here.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Are. Right now. Where are they going?
They're still kissing. You two can speak Italian all night at Giulio's Terrazza, where succulent steaks and delicious dishes are carefully created. Upstairs, the elegant surroundings set the scene for love. The food is cooked at your table, leaving you free to relax, unwind and revel in romance. Come back soon and tell us about your evening at Giulio's Terrazza.
Okay, it's going to be a good one. You will look terrific. Have a great time seeing them at the show. See you then. The car's waiting now. Thank you. Yes. Well, whilst they're going off in their Ferrari, going out now on a Rolls Royce is Glyn and Shauna. Here they are.